What no one dares to say about the most painful loss of the Commanders. The performance that is shaking the foundations of the NFL, the unforgivable mistake that cost us the Super Bowl, and the most embarrassing moment in the recent history of our franchise. Get ready for the truth the NFL wants to hide. Our rookie quarterback just made history at Lincoln Financial Field, showing why they will be the future of the NFL. A performance that has analysts speechless and rivals trembling. What we saw today will change the course of our franchise forever. A respected veteran may have played their last game with the team after a mistake that cost us the Super Bowl dream. The conversations happening in the halls of Ashburn have the entire league on high alert. The changes coming are bigger than you can imagine. And to close, the most embarrassing and humiliating sequence ever seen in a championship game. 5 plays that exposed everything wrong with our team. What happened at that goal line enraged the entire Commanders nation. Don't dare to miss these explosive details. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell because this information will change the way you see the Commanders forever. The truth must be told. I can't believe what I just saw at Lincoln Financial Field. And let me tell you something, Commanders family. Something no one is talking about. Jayden Daniels just completed the best rookie season for a quarterback in NFL history, and it's not even close. But you know what's most impressive? That no one expected us to get this far. And I tell you this. Today, in the most hostile environment in the NFL, with 70,000 Eagles fans screaming, what did our guy do? He shined! 62.5% of passes completed, 139 yards, a touchdown, and not a single interception. But you know what has me going crazy? This guy's pre-snap control. Unbelievable! Identifying blitzes, adjusting protections, controlling the clock. Like a 15-season veteran. Now, let's talk about something that has me burning. The fumbles. Unforgivable. Diami Brown, Austin Ekeler. Unacceptable. And I ask you, how many times have we seen great quarterback performances ruined by their teammates' mistakes? But here's the most important thing. Even when we were down 34-15, Daniels kept fighting, kept believing. And you know why? Because he's a natural leader. And now I believe this, the future is brighter than the sun in Washington. We have Adam Peters as GM, Kingsbury in the offense, and most importantly, we have Jayden Daniels. I'm going to make a prediction. In 2025, not only will we return to the conference championship, we'll go beyond. And you know why? Because we have the cap space, we have the vision, and we have the QB who can change the history of this franchise. But here's the craziest part. My sources tell me that the Commanders are preparing huge moves in free agency. And I ask you, what positions do you think we should reinforce first? The offensive line to protect our diamond? More weapons in the passing game? Or maybe reinforce the defense that cost us the game last night? And speaking of defense, did you see how Daniels kept his composure even when the defense couldn't stop anything? That's championship mentality. And here's my message to all of Commanders Nation. Yes, we lost. Yes, it hurts. But we have something that 25 teams in the NFL would kill for, a 24-year-old franchise quarterback. Next season, with more experience, more weapons, and this same hunger. Watch out, NFL! Because Jayden Daniels and these Commanders are just getting started. Commanders family! I can't stay quiet about this. Did you see what happened? We have to talk about Austin Ekeler. And let me tell you something. This fumble could be his last act with the Commanders. But wait! Before we start crucifying Ekeler, let's remember who this man is. The same guy who led the NFL in touchdowns in 2021 and 2022. 20 and 18 touchdowns. But you know what? Time waits for no one. And I ask you, 77 carries for 367 yards this season? 36 receptions for 366 yards? Those are not Austin Ekeler numbers. Those are role player numbers. But here's the worst part. We're losing 34-23. Jayden Daniels is mounting a heroic comeback. And what happens? Ekeler fumbles. And not just any fumble. A fumble that resulted in an Eagles touchdown. And I believe this. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are having very serious conversations right now. Why? Because the 2025 draft is full of talent at the running back position. Full! Now I ask you, Is it worth keeping a veteran who is clearly in decline when we can get young and explosive blood in the draft? Especially when that veteran makes crucial mistakes at the most important moments. And here's the most interesting part. Ekeler's contract. We can cut him with minimal cap impact. Are you hearing me? Minimal. Brian Robinson has already shown that he can be our RB1. And I tell you, with Jaden Daniels as quarterback, we need a running back who can keep up with our explosive offense. But here's my question for you. What should we do with Ekeler? Because I tell you something. In professional football, there's no room for nostalgia. And that fumble could have been the last time we see Austin Ekeler in a Commander's uniform. And remember this. We're not talking about just any game. We're talking about the NFC Championship. Mistakes in these moments cost championships. Commanders, the future is bright, but we need players who can keep up with Daniels and this new era. Is Ekeler one of them? I think we got our answer today. And here's my prediction, Ekeler won't be on the roster next season. Why? Because this team is building something special, and we need players who can execute in big moments. That fumble didn't just cost us the game, it cost US a trip to the Super Bowl. Leave your comments. What would you do with Ekeler? Keep him or let him go? I want to hear your arguments. Because this, family, is just the beginning of an offseason that promises to be explosive. And now I have to talk about something that has my blood boiling. Did you see what happened with the Eagles' tush-push? Let me tell you this madness. And I tell you, this is embarrassing. But first, let's go to the facts. We're down by 11 points in the last quarter. The Eagles have the ball at the 1-yard line, and what happens? A complete circus. And I ask you, when have you seen something like this? 5 straight plays at the goal line. 5! And you know what's worse? 4 offside penalties. But wait, because it gets better. Did you hear Sean Hochley? Threatening to give away a touchdown. Give away! Since when do referees threaten to give away points? And I believe this, Frankie Louisville was desperate to make a play. I get it. But jumping the line 3 times in a row, that's a lack of discipline. But here's what has me going crazy. The Eagles tush-push. Everyone knows they're going to do it. It's like saying water is wet. And yet we can't stop it. Now I ask you, where's the discipline? Where's the coaching? Because I tell you something. In a conference championship, you can't make these mistakes. And here's the truth. Not only did the Eagles humiliate us, the ref humiliated US. When was the last time you saw a ref threaten to give away points? Never! Because this is ridiculous. And I tell you more. This sequence perfectly sums up our problems: lack of discipline, poor execution, and frustration leading to more mistakes. But you know what's worse? That Dan Quinn and this defensive staff knew the tush-push was coming. They knew. It's like if I told you I'm going to punch you with my right hand, I warn you 5 times, and I still hit you. Commanders, we need to make serious changes in our defensive discipline. Because this is unacceptable in a championship game. And you know what else? The rule exists. Hochley was right. But then he had to threaten to use it. That's the embarrassing part. And here's my question for you. What do we need to change in our defense for next season? Because I tell you, if we can't stop a play we know is coming, how do we expect to reach the Super Bowl? Commanders family, today we've touched on crucial topics for our future, and I need all of you to be part of this conversation. The rebuilding of our team is underway, and every decision counts. What area do you think is the absolute priority? Protecting our QB with a solid offensive line, adding explosiveness to the passing game, or rebuilding that defense that needs an urgent change? The case of Ekeler is on the table, and I want to hear your voices. Is it worth making the financial effort for him, or should we invest those resources in other areas? Your arguments are fundamental to this debate. And speaking of our defense, we all saw what happened. We can't keep letting them read us like an open book. What specific changes do we need to implement to turn our defense into an elite unit? Family, this channel is our home, our meeting point where every opinion counts and where we build the future of our team together. If you're not part of this community yet, hit the subscription button now and activate the bell so you don't miss any analysis or debate about our commanders. I've been with you all season, informing you with all the truth about our beloved commanders. I just asked for your support. Share the channel with your fellow commanders. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me day by day. See you next time, and remember, hail to the Redskins!